Hi everyone. I want to thank you so much for the support and viewership of my last video. I feel honored and your words mean a lot. Everyone who said I'm a great teacher, that means the world to me. All I want to do is help people learn English and learn about the world. And if I can do that through this channel, then that's what I'm here to do. So thank you guys so much. What I want to do today is another advanced video, but not Shakespeare. We'll get back to Shakespeare, but I'd like to share from my favorite book series, among my favorite book series, called Sherlock Holmes. And this is a series written by the author Sir Arthur Conan Doyle between the late 1800s and early 1900s. And it's famous. It's one of the most famous detective works in the world, if not the most famous. And I love it for its vivid imagery and brilliant language and characters. And you guys will see. So enjoy this video. I'll be reading from a Sherlock Holmes story called The Sign of the Four, from the first chapter. And the scene begins with the detective, Sherlock, doing some drugs and using a syringe. And he's in this euphoric state, a euphoria, when Watson, his flatmate, comes in and finds him. Here we go. 3 times a day, for many months, I had witnessed this performance, but custom had not reconciled my mind to it. On the contrary, from day to day, I had become more irritable at the sight, and my conscience swelled nightly within me at the thought that I had lacked the courage to protest. Again and again, I had registered a vow that I should deliver my soul upon the subject, but there was that in the cool, nonchalant air of my companion which made him the last man with whom one would care to take anything approaching to a liberty. His great powers, his masterly manner, and the experience which I had had of his many extraordinary qualities all made me diffident and backward in crossing him. Yet upon that afternoon, whether it was the bone which I had taken with my lunch, or the additional exasperation produced by the extreme deliberation of his manner, I suddenly felt that I could hold out no longer. Okay, so we're going to take it step by step, and I'm going to point out how I managed to connect meaning in these strange words, very advanced words, okay? So, 3 times a day for many months, I had witnessed this performance. To witness is istashhada. It's to see something. In this case, it's dramatic language, right? I had witnessed this performance. Performance meaning the display, the actions going on in front of him by Sherlock. But custom had not reconciled my mind to it. Custom is aada. It's repetition, it's a habit. So seeing it multiple times had not reconciled my mind to it, meaning it hadn't made it okay. To reconcile is to make it all right. On the contrary, بالعكس يعني, from day to day, I become more irritable at the sight. I become more upset every time he sees it. At the sight means when you see something. So, for example, at the sight of my mother, I become very happy and run to give her a hug, right? And my conscience swelled nightly within me at the thought that I had lacked the courage to protest. So his conscience is ضمير, right? It's your sense of right and wrong. And the word swell we use it mostly for water, bodies of water. So the ocean swell, after a storm, the ocean rises up, right, onto land. So here his conscience is like growing, boiling, every night at the thought that I had lacked the courage to protest. So Watson, who's speaking, is feeling this wrestling with his conscience, right? What to do, because he feels like this thing is bad, the drugs. Again and again, I had registered a vow that I should deliver my soul upon the subject. So to register a vow, we don't use this in modern day English, but like we can imagine he had decided, right? To register is to decide. Literally, to register is يسجل, but he's registering a vow. So he's like metaphorically writing down a promise to himself that I should deliver my soul upon the subject. So his soul, meaning his opinion, right? We also say, speak your mind. This is an old-fashioned way of saying speak your mind, deliver your soul. Okay, here's the most complicated part, in my opinion. But there was that in the cool, nonchalant air of my companion. So this part means Watson is describing something about Sherlock that makes Watson not want to approach him or talk to him about this issue, right? There was that. So there was that in this phrase you'll hear to describe a person sometimes or a situation. There was something in the air. There was that which, or this is separate. There was that in him which made me feel uncomfortable. There was something in him that made me feel uncomfortable. That's what this phrase means. There was that in the cool, nonchalant air of my companion. So the air in this siyaq context is like the behavior of someone, السلوك ديالهم. So cool means like collected and steady, in control. And even cold, we say, could be someone unkind. Nonchalant means someone who doesn't care very much about your opinion, right? So if there's a nonchalance about him, he doesn't care much about how he appears to other people. So if I close the book nonchalantly, it's without much thought, right? Without caring about my appearance. Of my companion, so of Sherlock, which made him the last man, meaning nobody would want this, with whom one would care to take anything approaching to a liberty. So the phrase to take a liberty, might I have the liberty of your hand, or of this dance? To take a liberty is to use a freedom, right? Liberty means freedom, al-istiqlal. So to approach a liberty, to take a liberty, is something permitted to you, or something you might act upon. So Watson is saying he would never dare take such a liberty as to talk to Sherlock about this. And he gives reasons: his great powers, his masterly manner, and the experience which I had had of his many extraordinary qualities all made me diffident and backward in crossing him. So his great powers of science and reasoning, his masterly manner. Manner also means suluk. Masterly, he يحكم على كل شيء. Diffident means حشمان, like خجول. It's he's tentative, he is a bit scared. And backward, meaning متخلف, like he just his personality, Watson, his regular confidence fails him. To crossing him is to disagree with him or approach him with something. Yet means but. Upon that afternoon, whether it was the bone which I had taken with my lunch. Bone is a type of alcohol. I think I googled it. Or the additional exasperation. Exasperation is like, exasperated. I'm exasperated. So, exasperation produced by the extreme deliberation of his manner. So, if someone is deliberate, it means they're very purposeful. So, I'm very deliberately placing this thing, right here, right? With deliberation, I am writing, I am thinking carefully. So, extreme deliberation of his manner means Sherlock was so carefully doing everything with great joy, with great thought. And Watson became very exasperated, just so fed up with this. I suddenly felt that I could hold out no longer. To hold out is to just hold it in, right? To keep going, to not, to keep going, to not surrender. السلام, to surrender. Inshallah, استفدتوا من هذا الفيديو. And hopefully you guys benefited from this. And let me know if the explanations were helpful. And I have another thought. If you guys want subtitles, إلا بغيتوا شي كلمات من تحت وش بغيتوا, should I do فصحى العربية, اللغة العربية, or دارجة, or should I do both in the captions option? Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for watching. شكرا للمشاهدة والدعم ديالكم. نشوفوا.